Welcome back to another car market video, and today we are going to be looking at the Nissan GT-R market. As you can see here, we can now buy one for under £34,000 in the UK. We're going to be looking at the R35 specifically in this video. We're going to be looking at the Gen 1 and also the Gen 2 car, as well as the only Nismo listed in the UK. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button to be involved in the poll about which car we do next. We are also doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Around 90% of you aren't subscribed, so subscribe, get involved in the community tab to suggest what video we post next, and also any content ideas you want to see on the channel. Firstly then, I'm going to take a look at some of the cheapest examples within the UK. Generally and historically over the last 5-10 years, GTRs have hovered around the 40k mark. Recently they've seen a slightly further dip, and we've got multiple examples listed for under 35k. For the purpose of today's video, we are going to specifically look at this example here, which is a stage 4.25 Litchfield car. Something to note when buying a GTR, generally you want a Litchfield service history, and if any tuning is done, Litchfield are the ones you want involved with that, whether it's stage 2, 4.25 or any other stage. In general, Litchfield are the place you want to see the service history from, as a lot of other companies are not as reputable, and generally in the UK, Litchfield seem to have a little bit of a monopoly on the market. So this one then, this is one of the more leggy examples, one of the cheapest in the UK, 60,000 miles, and it's listed for under 35. This one has been dropped £5,000, so you can see, as I was mentioning previously, these cars would have been about 40-45. Recently they've been dropping to low 30s, which for the money is great value. You can see there, this is a 4.25 Litchfield car as well, and you can see it's had £25,000 in mods, a recent clutch, and it's also got a strong history there as well. And quite a few mods as well. One thing to note in general, if you go for a stage 4.25 car, you will smell fuel. However, the stage 2 cars, you won't get as much sort of fumes within the cabin, so that is something to bear in mind. These are the initial Gen 1 cars, which stock around 485 brake horsepower. The Gen 2 cars have closer to 530, I believe. And those cars are slightly more, but in general you can pick up a nice example for around 35k, with relatively average miles for the age of the car. That one there's premium edition, very nice spec as well. So in general, Gen 1 car around 35-36k. You're looking at a car with Litchfield history, and with the 4.5 or 4.25 cars, just be careful and realize that you are going to get smooth fuel smells in the cabin. And then this one then is untuned, so that's another one. A lot of these cars have Litchfield service history, so generally most of them will. It's the ones that don't, those are sort of the red flags and things you want to look out for. So now what we'll do is move on to the newer car. So this is the 2016 GTR, which 2016-17 was a facelift, new lights, an uptick in horsepower, so 462 brake horsepower, newer lights, and a slightly updated front bumper and interior as well. So the cheapest one there is around £60,000. The list on these cars was around 70-80. So in terms of list, they've not dropped too much, but in the last few months, these have held relatively steady. You can see that one then been listed recently. This one here is lost around £6,000. Again, this is 802 brake horsepower, stage 4. Again, you'll see a common theme here, Litchfield again. That's generally what you want to see when buying one of these cars. Then we've got one of the 4.25 convertibles with Akrapovic exhaust. And we've got another one which is stage 4 as well. Personally, I think if you're looking for all-out performance, go for this stage 4. If you're looking for something with a bit of performance, go for something stage 2 or stock. But generally, a common theme is Was mentioning, a lot of these cars are modified. Personally, I think you'll find it harder to find a non-modified example than a modified one. This one here has not been modified, however it's done 59,000 miles. Personally, if you're looking at the facelift, I wouldn't touch one with higher miles. I'd go for something with around 40 to 30k. Something like this car for around 65 is a much better bet. A 30,000 mile difference and you're paying a few grand extra. However, with the Gen 1 car, I think an example with 50 to 60 miles is okay, and that's really what you want to see. Otherwise, the car will have sat around for quite a while. And generally, we've got quite a few examples here listed for around 65, 68k. So that's what you want to be picking one up for. Again, that's stage 4 as well. And then we've also got this one here, which is probably one of the cleaner examples. However, it's a Prestige with slightly lower brake horsepower. And this one then, 2018, so slightly newer and a lot more unmodified, but you can see there, similar to the other cars, we're looking at big drops. You saw the previous example, 8,000, this one 11,000 drop. However, this is a very clean car as well, and it has very good history with it too. So that's another option for those looking at a Gen 2. Generally for a Gen 2, I think you're looking to pay about 65 to 68. I wouldn't go for something with any more than 60, 70,000 miles. And generally you can get one as a decent example for well under 70k, whereas a few months ago you were paying quite a bit more. And as you can see in this example, in the last few months they have dropped quite a bit. Finally then, before we end the video, we'll take a quick look at some of the other examples. So again, 10.8k, 7k drop. These generally seem to be dropping in the winter, just like a lot of other supercars. And you can see there the GTR is no different. Stage 3, Litchfield, £6,000 drop. Another thing to generally be careful for with GTRs is owners. Generally 5 owners is the max. However, that's something with all cars. Finally, before we end the video, we're going to take a look at the only GTR Nismo. This car has been for sale for quite a while. You can see that listed in February. There isn't another one in the country. Very rare. Stock around 600 bhp. And you can see this is a Litchfield anniversary build. So again, another common theme, Litchfield essentially have a little bit of a monopoly on the market. So yeah, Litchfield car, very well kept, no issues with it overall, high spec, and that is a very nice example. However, it's the only one listed. I think they're worth slightly lower than that, considering this one's been for sale. If you're looking to buy a Nismo, this is your only option. However, I wouldn't say it's worth that much considering how long this car's been for sale. I would say you're looking at closer to 140 to 130k. Finally then, if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post daily content over on those channels, so do check those out as well. And also a GTR recently sold in auction. To give you an idea of what they're worth in the open market, it had 50,000 miles and it sold for £32,000. So you can see a general trend is they are coming down. However, I think they'll bottom out at around 30k. Finally, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, get involved with the community tab, vote for what car next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Comment which car's next and any improvements you want to see on the videos. I'm always open to feedback, so do let me know. Thanks for watching. Share, like, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.